Welcome to South Aussie Shooting Channel. Today's video is part 2 of loading 223 Remington on a Dillion 550B press. I got the components I'll be using to make the ammo, and you'll need the brass that's already sized, and you have a funnel to because we're going to be taking the bullet off the powder die and then measuring every single one to get the precise amount of powder that I desired. We got CCI primers, the small rifle one, and nozzler shots. As you can see, they're 50 grain Spitzer, and you got the Hornady scales, the M1500, and these dial calibers that we used the other day, and we got our Dillion primer tube, 100 primers at a time. Got our safety glasses, which is a must when loading ammo, and 2206H powder, and a primer tray to flip the primers so I can put it in the tube and into the press. And so that's the next step. Alright, so we're getting our primers now, and put him onto the tray. Today I'll only be loading 30 or so. Cut the sticky tape off. They're in about groups of 10, and all you do is tip it. There's one stuck with the sticky tape still. And then close it and put it aside. Then what we do is shake it, those little ripples, turn it on its back, and now you can see the gold is all the way there. We get the lid, place it over the top, and flip it, and now all of them are facing up. And we get the primer tube from the press with the yellow bit facing down, making sure this pin is in there, because we'll turn it upside down again and pull the pin. And it's done. Turn it upside down, and when you pull that pin out, the primers will fall down. So we'll go on to our press. Going to the primer tube here. This is the beeper, and lift that up, take the follower out, And get your tube, place the blue bit in the middle here, and then pull the pin out and the primers will fall. Pull the pin, primers fall out. Place the lid back down, get the follower with the weight, put it through the top, pushes the primer down, and when this bit up the top here gets down to the beeper here, it will go off. There's normally about 4 primers left, so when you hear that you've only got 4 left. And then now we move on to our powder 2206H and put it in the powder reservoir. You can put, we're going to put the whole container in there, as this is all the Dillion press can hold. About 500 grams. I've previously used it, that's why it's a bit low. To get a consistent powder charge, I recommend filling it up to the top all the time, so then the gravity should push it down. The first stage of the press is resizing, depriming, and then repriming. And then we start off with the case that's already been sized. And all we need to do is just put the primer in it and push forward, as we already know that it's been sized and deprimed. So now the case has a live primer in it, and making sure that the primer is in the inside the thing properly, and if it's out anymore, then try and push it back in. Then we move it on to the next stage. The second stage is powder. What we do is lifting it up, it's dropping the charge. Calibrate your scales by turning them on, and then holding down the button, get your 100 gram weight, place it on till it passes, taking the weight off, putting the tray on. You don't have to use the tray if you don't want to. And finding the number, I like to mine with that 137.1, and then push the tab button, brings it to 0, and then we go and do our powder charge. And then adjusting the powder measure. Drops the powder, and then we take it off and bring it around back to the powder, tipping the powder in, putting it back in the powder measure. You can see that the powder's not quite on 25 grain, which I'm aiming for, so I keep doing that until I get the correct load, or you can shake it, stuff like that, but no, it goes back to the same. So I get the powder, tip it back, put it back on the scale, goes back to 0, and then recharge it, take it off, tapping it. No, so it's about the same, so that means I have to get my spanner and adjust this little screw. Where is it? Up here, that one, in a clockwise direction. Just a smidge, and then just keep doing that. Taking that off. Putting it back. Recharging it. Taking it off. Putting the powder back on there. And this time it's 25.1, which is acceptable. You can give it a bit of a shake. You're always going to be about 0.1 off, or 2, this one is. So that might just mean I just need a little adjustment back down again, or we can just recheck it, because every time you're adjusting it you get different powder all the time. The Dillion is about 0.4 off or 0.3 off, so which is pretty bad, I reckon. That's why you have to keep doing it singly all the time. So I have to do this 3 times as well. So I have to do that for 10 rounds, plus when I move up to the next charge I'll have to keep on moving. So that one's 24.8, as you can see. It was 25.2, so it is off a bit. So you can either go 0.2 around there. Not sure how much difference it will make. Okay, so we got 24.9, which is close enough to 25. It does show 25 sometimes. And we'll get the funnel, place it over the top of the round, and tip the powder into the round. Give it a shake, take it off, and then you can see the powder's in there. And next step is seating the bullet. Right. Pushing to the next stage. That is the projectile seating. Now get the projectile. Got the nozzle shots. Place it on top. These bullets look like they're pretty big, so they won't stay inside. So you have to hold it up. The last stage is crimping, and all that does is put tension on the neck, pushing it against the projectile and making it so it's flush. and then the round's crimped, you push again and it drops into the bin. And now there we have our finished 223 round, and that's all. Thanks for watching, and subscribe.